Well, no, don't know. I honestly don't know.
And they do speak. They scream. They tremble. They try to escape. They're terrified.
Yeah, it's pretty clear you've never watched any like slaughterhouse footage or factory farm footage, Dallas, and I would encourage you to do so instead of coming in here being kind of arrogant and not taking it very seriously. So we can drop some documentaries in the comments because that's what it sounds like you need to do.
Maybe if I...
Watching something, Dallas?
Sorry, say that again.
Would you be open to watching something before I waste my breath and my time any further with giving you resources?
I mean, if you want, yeah, you can. I'll
They've
still
been dropped
try and
in
give
the
it a try.
Okay. Okay, hold on. If you look at Not Your Mom, Not Your Milk's comment in the chat, can you see that? helpgoingvegan.info/reality.
Oh, where?
Just scroll up a little bit. It's about the fourth one from the bottom.
When it says like info, reality, watch, and
That's it.
listen.
Take a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one documentary that's only 5 minutes long, so you can watch that quickly. It's not graphic and it's very scary.
Well, it is graphic and it is scary, did you say?
No, it's not graphic. Dairy is scary, is not graphic. It's 5 minutes long.
All right.
The other one is Dominion. And so why are you concerned about the graphic, whether it's graphic or not? So by the way.
No, because I thought you said that it was graphic.
No, but let's say it was. Why would that bother you?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't. It wouldn't bother me. I was just, correcting myself.
Okay, no problem. So Dairy is Scary is not graphic, so you can watch that. It's 5 minutes. And then Dominion is a 2-hour documentary. And it shows you what happens in the industry that you are paying and supporting for, right?
All right.
Okay.
I will watch it.
So that's a 2-hour one. Watch at least 30 minutes. If you can get through the full 2 hours, absolute kudos to you. But at least watch 30 minutes. And I would say to you, we're going to be on for a while. If you want to go drop down and watch these and come back and tell us what you saw and if it's changed anything, because now you're taking on new information, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if you've actually listened to anything that Sierra, Colleen, Jace, and Andy has put forth, right?
Yeah. Can I ask you one more question?
Sure, Dallas. What is that?
What do you think to farmers?
What do you think? What do you mean?
Like, do you think... Well, to be honest, you guys say, it's horrible, but what do you think about the farmers that, sort out the pigs or the cows or the chickens and that?
They exploit they exploit animals. Why?
Yeah, the easiest way to answer that question usually is it's not necessarily the farmers we have a problem with, it's who they farm. Because obviously, don't forget, lots of farmers grow plants and they're farmers too. So it's not a hatred of farmers, it's an opposition to the exploitation that they commit every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I was about to say that as well. They also do grow like plants and crops.
Yeah, so they can the ones who exploit the non-human animals, they can change the industry, and it's happening everywhere. I'm assuming you're in the UK. People are changing their industries all the time, so that's very much a possibility. You don't have to exploit non-human animals, right? It's not necessary.
And this isn't a hate group. This is a group that wants to share knowledge. They want to engage with people who are curious about this so we can actually see that transition continue to happen, away from relying on exploitation for our day-to-day life. And, Dallas, in speaking with you, I heard you say a couple times when we asked you questions that you don't know. And I want you to know that I appreciate that very much, that you are willing to admit that and to hopefully very genuinely think about the information that we provided and that you're going to continue to learn through those videos and things. So yeah, definitely don't be afraid to engage with us again as you continue to learn, because I think that's an important thing to share that knowledge and to help each other grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as well, like it was, well, still kind of do now, but you know how like wolves or some types of dogs go hunting for meat? Well, and then we'll keep probably the same animals apart from the dog family as pets. Should we still give them like what, like, you know, when you said what was it, like vegetarian kibble?
Well, my dogs all eat a plant-based diet. And my oldest dog is 14 years old and he's been on a plant-based diet. He's turning 15 and he's been on a plant-based diet for 13 years. So yeah, dogs can absolutely thrive on a plant-based diet.
So,
Yeah, the truth of it is we need to understand what the nutritional requirements of those animals are to be able to supply it effectively. And generally speaking, you can supply all of the essential nutrients that all animals need from plants. There's no reason why we can't.
Yeah, but well, I mean, obviously you've got the potential expertise to confirm this, but like, if we could theoretically put all the required nutrients into a tablet, it's just a delivery method, right? At the end of the day, as long as we're getting what we need chemically, how it goes into our body is kind of irrelevant.
Yep, absolutely.
and another thing that, because I live with my nan and grand, and they have chickens. They don't kill them or anything. They just collect the eggs. Is that counted as cruelty?
I'm happy to say that. So the word cruelty might be argued and debated around, but it's absolutely exploitation. Yeah, because they're not your eggs to take, or they're not the eggs for your grandparents to take. Essentially, what we do to chickens now is absurd in terms of how many eggs that they're essentially bred to produce. I mean, in abundance of 300 a year from once upon a time, 10 to 15 a year, which would have been laid in a clutch, in a nest, just like many other birds do, as opposed to singly. So the best thing that you can actually do for your chickens is to feed those eggs back to them. But for us, the problem we have, you see, is although I'm sure that you sound like a nice person, and I'm sure your grandparents are nice people. So even if you look after the chickens extremely well, for as long as you see them as objects and you see their eggs as like products or resources that we can consume, someone else somewhere else will do the same thing. And not everybody has got the ability to have their own chickens. Like me, I live in a flat on the second floor, so I couldn't have my own chickens. So if I was still consuming eggs, I would go and get them from the shop, and that means they're factory farmed.
But chickens lay eggs like naturally? That
they used to lay between 10 and 15 a year, and now they've been genetically modified to lay 300 a year, and they'll keep laying them for as long as you take them away, because it's almost like a natural instinct to replace that egg in their nest.
Oof.
And that
300 a year.
heavy laying process is so hard on their bodies, on their bones. It's actually a very cruel thing to do, to breed them for just the production of eggs. And I think the host said this last time I was on the panel, and I thought it was just such a clear message that the only reasons those chickens continue to lay eggs is because those eggs are taken away from them.
But the eggs don't have any chicks or anything like that. They're not like, there's nothing alive inside of it.
No, they haven't been fertilized, but obviously the chicken's potential mentality is that they want to sit on an egg until it hatches, and you removing that egg kicks in this kind of instinctual, I need to relay. And obviously, as Bubble just pointed out, it's really, really intensive on them. It's really, really exhausting, almost comparable to a human giving birth. And so when they're doing this repeatedly, day after day after day, it's expelling so many resources, and genuinely the best way to get most of them back into them is to smash that egg on the floor in front of them and let them consume it, shell included.
Ooh, we don't do that though. We don't smash the egg in front of them.
Yeah, but that's what we should be doing. Because obviously, like I said, for as long as you're taking those eggs from the chickens and taking them in the kitchen and boiling them or doing whatever you're doing with them, factory farmed eggs will continue, because you're seeing eggs as a resource that's acceptable to consume, when in reality those are the chicken's eggs, they're not ours. I mean, let's look at it this way. You know, like if you went out in the woods or in the field and you came across a bird's nest, would you instinctively take those eggs?
No, because they've actually got living things inside of the eggs.
How do you know that?
Because
how do you know that those eggs have been fertilized?
because it's in a nest in a tree. What's probably
So is the eggs in your back garden. They're a roost that you're removing them from. They're just not up in a tree because chickens don't lay their eggs in tops of trees. They lay them on the ground.
but we don't have a rooster.
No, a roost. That's what it's talking about when they sit on a place. Have you got like a stick or a pole or somewhere inside their shed that they sit on?
No.
Well, ideally, they should have. But yeah, that's it's called roosting. It's essentially what they do as they get prepared to lay an egg. So all of these things that you wouldn't do with any other bird, you are doing with chickens. It's just that it's been normalized to take their eggs. But there is no difference. If you were walking around a lake and you saw a duck nest, you wouldn't instinctively take those eggs. But yet duck eggs are eaten and consumed, and ducks are bred for their eggs. So it's just what's been normalized and what hasn't been normalized. That's the difference. That's the problem.
I was going to ask you a question, but I forgot now. Do you know, so, you know how chickens pretty much eat anything? We don't feed them, their own bloody kind. We're not that, diabolical. But we have fed them different types of meat, and they have ate it before.
What's your point? Factory farms feed chickens poop.
But we don't feed them poop. We feed them meat,
What's
bread.
your point?
I'm just saying, is that cruelty or not?
I mean, yeah, feeding animals.
Chickens full stop is problematic. Everything that you do with them is just a symptom of that problem. Yeah. But refeeding, as Yara just mentioned, that's absolutely a thing that happens in factory farms all over the world. And it's not just poop. It's the dead others. So whether we're talking about pigs or chickens or turkeys or whoever is on the floor gets pushed into a corner with a big digger and essentially ground up into a pellet that's fed back to whomever.
Well, I must say I've never really heard of that before.
Yeah, it's called refeeding. It happens all the time to save money. It's disgusting, but daily life because people pay for it to happen.
I thought when it's just a dead carcass in a farm, they just dispose of it or use it. Oh, what is it? Can't you use a dead body to grow plants or something? Doesn't giving it, nutrition or something?
But do you understand, the points Andy and everyone else has made? Even though, you're saying, oh, we don't do this, we don't do that. It doesn't matter because you're still perpetuating the demand for chicken eggs and for whatever else, right? And not everyone can have backyard hens,
Yeah.
And that again, that's the problem in the first place, is having animals and using them, because anytime we use animals, it's not good for them. It's not healthy for them.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
Dallas, so I take it then you agree that animals are sentient?
In other ways, yeah.
Do you know what sentience means?
I'm guessing some in betweens that we don't kill them.
What it means is that there's someone existing in a body, experiencing the world and making preferences on those experiences. Would you say humans are sentient?
No, I wouldn't really.
Well, did you hear the definition of sentience? Oh, okay. Well, the only point I was trying to make is that we share so many similarities with animals. We're both sentient. We both prefer to live. We avoid pain, and they carry the same merits that we give humans in human rights. They're just somebody experiencing the world, whether they understand morality or logic or whatever. It doesn't matter. They are experiencing